What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round 3 DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 AT&T Byron Nelson. Craig, Sam Burns is once again at the top of the leaderboard, just burning the course down, pun intended, 17 under through 2 days. What do you think of the leaderboard right now?
I mean, it's just crazy what Sam Burns is doing right now. I thought that his price, going into the tournament,
Yeah.
I said it was too high. I was like, you know what? I think we got to pump the brakes a little bit on this recent form with Burns. I was wrong. Yeah, no, I mean, it's still early. We're 36 holes in.
Totally.
It's going to be a volatile weekend. I think,
People
we'll get
wanted to
into
crown Jordan Spieth yesterday, and look where he is now. He's, 6 back, right? So,
and there's scoring to be had out there. So,
yeah.
you go out there and you have a -2, people are going to be coming for you.
Yeah. This means almost absolutely nothing, but I don't think I've seen a leaderboard after 2 days have no ties in the top 5. That just seems weird. I guess the scoring is more spread out, but it's just weird to see that there's 5 individual spots in the top 5. But
yeah, and then like 30 players in the next 3.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely some names to watch out for. I mean, everyone's playing well up here, obviously, but Kuchar stands out to me. Kazire, guys we talked about. Schwartzel, one of your boys. You must like to see that.
Definitely like to see that. Although I still like him probably more next week at a harder course, for the PGA Championship.
I got Carlos Ortiz on a 6 of 6, so I like to see that as well. Down Brandt Snedeker, one of my sleepers. Happy to see him up there, and Munoz has been playing well.
Yep, Vincent Whaley, the cut maker himself. I know there was a lot of conflicting opinions on him coming into the week, but he's showing why he has the form that he has.
He got the promotion to 7,000, the 7,000 club, and he is making it worthwhile.
He is validating that. I think to me the two other ones that I just want to mention real quick, Alex Noren and Doc Redmond. They're 2 players that we know are very talented that we have not necessarily seen. Noren we've started to see in good form, I think, but without really a good result to show for it. But Doc Redmond has been off the map for a little while. So nice to see both of them up there in contention.
Yeah. So speaking of what happened today, round 1 scoring was really low. We know that, -3.2. It came back a little bit of wind, 1.67 under. Our picks beat the field by a stroke again. So that's good to see, -2.67. If I didn't say Hoagie, it would have been way better, because
I was going to say 5 of them were really good too.
I mean, a bunch of 4 unders, a 3 under, 5 under. Yeah. Pretty good, but Hoagie dragged them down a little bit.
Yeah, the other one that really dragged him down, like Bryson, I think he had a putt to go 6 under through 10, and then he ended up 4 under on his round. So I mean, he went bogey, par coming in. It was not a great finish there from Bryson.
Lose the bogey-free round. Harris English also lost a bogey-free round on the last one. So Ryan Palmer went in the drink on the last. There's a lot of kind of limping in. Unfortunately, but still good kind of scores overall when you look back. 6 of 6s though. I think we both got to talk about one of my sleepers, Big Beauty, Harry Higgs. What happened? All you need to do is par the par 5 last hole, and he
if you don't know what you're talking about, I forget if it was 9 or 18, but he was par 5 on his last hole. He was in the fairway. What did you say, about 230 into the green?
Yeah, his second shot, 230 in the fairway into the green. Just needs to make a par.
And then he ended up pulling it left. He had a 60-yard pitch, pitched it, not a good pitch, not a good first putt, ended up 3-putting from there. It was an ugly missed cut. It definitely knocked one of mine down to a 5 out of 6. That probably would have been my most competitive lineup. So
it was my single dart GPP, big money GPP lineup, and he's the reason it's a 5 of 6. So that one stung for sure. Another one, Rosner, one of her picks as well. I have him in a couple of 5 of 6s, but I still like
it wasn't as egregious because it was just a par on the par 5, but still I think he had about a 7-footer for birdie that he missed. So yeah, that one hurts.
But it's not as low, the 6 of 6, as we've seen in previous weeks. So you're going to need that 6 of 6 to cash pretty much, unless you have winners and other top 5.
Yeah, and really, some of these other weeks you could be competitive with 5 of 6 if you had, if the 5 were the right guys. But that's not going to be the case this week. The scoring's going to be so low, you need to have all 6 guys through.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, speaking of tomorrow, Craig, what do you think of this weather forecast we got?
So I struggled with this one. It's gustier in the morning, but then the overall wind kind of peaks around midday. I didn't weigh it. I think the problem is, from a showdown point of view, is it might be most favorable for the leaders, but they're going to have such heavy ownership. So I just ended up playing it fairly neutral.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I also don't think really that I was searching for win players in a sense. I have a couple in my picks that I think are good win players, but I wasn't, where's Russell Knox? Give me Russell
Give
Knox
me
because
all
it's
your
gonna be,
Russell Knoxes.
yeah, give me Snedeker, give me Knox because it's going to be windy. I think it's just going to be, maybe the scoring will be -1.5 today with the best guys. Even after the cut, it's still only 1.5 or 2.
hmm Yeah, I like it. Maybe a slight bump to people. Maybe this is where we see a little bit more of the local narrative come into play, because either people who have experience with this course know how it plays in the wind, or people who are just very familiar with the area and kind of know the North Texas winds.
Yeah, for sure. Should we jump into picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
First off, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. Let's do it. Daniel Berger's the first one, 9,400 on DraftKings. He's gone 69, 67. Really nice round today. He sits at 8 under, 1 eagle, 9 birdies, 3 bogeys. That's how he's got there. Really good on approach so far, plus 2.43, 19th in the field. Okay, kind of elsewhere. One on off the tee, that's okay. Putting he's losing, but I think he gained today compared to where he's round 1. So a lot of improvement in round 2 compared to round 1. But a guy I really like in the wind. I think he'll be fine in the wind. And really, one of the biggest reasons I'm playing him is he's a pivot off Sam Burns, which is going to have mega ownership at 9,300. So just to put that in context, yesterday you had Bryson, who came at 16% owned, over Spieth, who was 40% owned. And Bryson outscored him by about 10 points. So
I mean, we didn't get what we wanted from Bryson. For a while, it looked like it was going to be he was going to wipe the floor with him.
Yeah. And you know what? Sam Burns might have he might go 6 under, 7 under again, but I like Berger's chances to do that just as well as Burns. Longer term, he's a better talent. So over the more courses, the more rounds you have, he will be better. So I like Daniel Berger as a pivot, and I think he's playing good enough right now that he could even improve in round 3.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you say that they have equal chances of the same score range tomorrow,
take the lower own.
Yeah, you're going to get the ownership leverage. So I really like the Daniel Berger play. It also, not even just Burns below him, but he's below quite a lot of guys. And I think you could make a good argument that he should be 3rd or 4th at this point in the field in terms of pricing. So maybe 4th. I feel like there's the big 3 that you kind of have to keep up top, but maybe 4th. Okay, I am going with my one and done pick and our most recent major winner, Hideki Matsuyama, 9,100. He's gone 68, 70s, -6, 10 birdies, 4 bogeys. This one to me, it's there's 2 aspects to it. It's a little bit it's a talent play at 9,100, but then also it's a look at what he's done so far this week. He has gained over 5 strokes with his ball striking, and he's lost 4.5 with his short game. Now, a lot of people are like, okay, that's classic Hideki. Less so with the around the green, but especially so with the putting. It actually hasn't been. So first things first, he's gained strokes in 14 of his last 20 rounds. Yes, obviously that does include the Masters, so we can expect that he would gain strokes there. He's averaging 1.84 over that time. But the one that I think really stands out to me, we think of Hideki as the bad putter. So last 3 months, he is positive strokes gain putting. And now that one doesn't include the Masters because we don't actually have individual, delineated strokes gain categories from the Masters. So his last 3 months, he's gaining with the putter and he's gaining over a half stroke around the green, which is Hideki's never, over the course of a season, never lost around the green. So he's got a really good short game. He's a really bad putter typically. But this week he's losing badly in both of them. I don't expect that to continue. I think there's always the chance of a crazy low round from Hideki. So if you can get him at 9,100 with any kind of low ownership, because of Burns, I just really think I think he's one of these guys that you always have to consider in showdowns.
Yeah, I agree. And I was watching a little bit of PGA Tour live. I didn't see his entire round. But one thing I thought they mentioned, which I think is a good thing to point out, is he took a lot of time off golf, not just competitive golf, but practicing. And your full swing comes back pretty easily, but maybe your touch around the green takes a little bit more time to kind of knock the rust off, knock the cobwebs off a little bit. So maybe that's what we're seeing a little bit, and then he'll get better as the tournament goes along.
Yeah, I'll still take a chance though. I mean,
totally.
maybe it'll be rusty this week, but I'm going to take a shot at it because you don't get a lot of chances for a guy. He's a fairly blue chip ball striker. You don't get a lot of chances to roster them at 9,100 in this kind of field.
Yeah. Okay, my second pick, Siwoo Kim. Talking about guys that can go low, I like Siwoo Kim tomorrow, 8,600. He's gone 66.70, so backed up a little bit today. He's 8 under, doing that with 10 birdies, 2 bogeys. He's putting actually pretty well. Around the greens, pretty good. Off the tees, pretty good as well. He's losing strokes on approach, minus 0.31 on approach. He's 57th in the field. That doesn't really add up with what we know of Siwoo Kim. Siwoo Kim's been sneaky good of late, and you were pumping his tires a lot during our Wednesday night show. And then as we were signing off on Wednesday night, you're like, the one thing I want to leave you with is play Siwoo Kim. And I didn't take that to heart. I don't think I have any. So I'm going to hedge in Showdown. I think he's a good Showdown play. He's volatile, which is fine for Showdown. But with his strokes in approach, he's gained in 10 of his last 12 rounds coming in. He's not usually losing strokes on approach. So if he can keep up the short game, keep up the off the tee, that's been, I mean, even average for him, and his approach come up a little bit, he's one of these guys that can go out and just tear these golf courses apart. So I like Siwoo Kim tomorrow. Definitely more high risk, high reward, but I'm going to roll the dice.
Yeah, no, I like to play a lot. I don't think I will be making it myself, but that's just because he burned me a little bit today. He had one of these ones, it seemed like he should have gone low. He was, I want to say 2 under through at the halfway point, and then he was even on his back. But he, like Siwoo Kim, and then the other thing is I have him in my top tournament long, so
sure.
I've got enough invested, I think, this week. But he can go low at any point, and that's similar to Hideki. That's exactly what you want in showdowns. Yeah. My next one, I am going with, I think, just a really good value at 8,500, Marc Leishman. He's gone 66, 69, 9 under through 2 rounds, eagle, 10 birdies, 3 bogeys. I think potentially he'll attract ownership here. He is a name at 9 under at 8,500, so maybe he'll attract a little more ownership than I would like. But so far his ball striking's been good, his putter's been good, around the green not so good. But essentially I'm pretty happy with how he's played thus far. You look at what I think there's a lot of still perception of Marc Leishman from last summer and from 2020, early, this maybe the 2021 season, but the first half before the break. Yep. You look at his last 27 rounds, he's actually gaining strokes in 22 of them. And over those 27 rounds, he's gaining about 1.4 strokes. So that's pretty good. That's much better than his very, very long-term averages. So I'll take that kind of form coming. And the other thing, that's not counting the Zurich Classic, because that's a team event, so you don't get to count those. But he won there, so it was not just Cam Smith playing good golf. He hit some good golf shots along the way. For sure. Last thing, Aussies in Texas. I feel like there's the narrative that Aussies always do well, and there's something about Aussies in Texas. I think that potentially if it gets windy, if it gets sloppy, I like Leishman's ability to, maybe it gets close to par. I like his ability to still be 1 or 2 under in that case. I think he can go really low if scoring is to be had, but I think if it turns into a grind, I think he's one of the ones that can grind.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what Aussies in Texas was. I don't know if that was like a screenplay you're working on there. You're just kind of teasing in the show, getting people a little bit excited about Aussies in Texas. Yes, I saw a little bit of him on coverage around the green. Completely out of character, just seemed sloppy, really, really sloppy. So the fact that he's 9 under and scoring that well, I don't know. You make a good case. I think I still have that perception of him pre-November Masters. So I'm like, is this, kind of facade, or is this for real?
Yeah, I think it's also harder too, and it's not a ball striker. You're like, this guy's a dominant ball striker. I can plant my flag on that. Like Leishman just seems to do it in different ways every week, and so it's hard to really pin down what he's going to be, what to look for. Done.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, my third and final pick here. I'm going low. I'm going with Wes Bryan at 6,900. He's gone 67.71 -6. So again, like Siwoo Kim, kind of didn't have his best stuff today, but still through to the cut. Birdied the last to get through. He's 10 birdies, 4 bogeys. I mean, so he's killing it on approach. Plus 3.16 on approach. That's 10th in the field. He's losing a ton of strokes on the green. Minus 1.84. That's 66. And then off the tee, 70th minus 1.67. So digging a little bit deeper into that, he's only hit 46% of his fairways. So he's just not setting himself up. I mean, even today was slightly better. It was still 50%. So both days were awful. He's not a good driving accuracy in general, but these shouldn't be that difficult to hit. I mean, it's pretty wide open out there. So I just think that, speaking of volatility, just like Siwoo Kim, Wes Bryan is volatile, but just more extremes almost. Or, you know, it also, okay, I'm going to go on a little bit tangent here with Wes Bryan, but it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, I look at that in the day and he's the only one that went like +4 and he's dead last in the field. But he can also go 6 under and completely put himself into the top 10 or something crazy like that. If he does hit fairways, his approach is so good. He's such a streaky player that for Showdown, I'll take the risk for one day and see what happens. I don't have to well, I do have him tournament long, but he's just so volatile at 6,900. I'll take the shot at a guy that won't be that highly owned.
Yeah, I agree. And that to me is the key. I think he definitely is volatile, but essentially it doesn't really matter if he's even or if he's +4. Like, it's not getting the job done either way. So having someone who's at 6,900 still at this point of the tournament, and he's not at -10 or something, so he's not going to attract the ownership that, you know, I want to say Vince Whaley is still at 7,000.
And you know what? I almost considered him here. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with Wes Bryan.
Yeah. So, I mean, both of their chances, I say, would be somewhat similar of having a -4 or a -5 if weather permits. But you're going to get a huge ownership leverage with Wes Bryan.
Yeah, exactly.
My last one here, I'm going with Sebastian Munoz. He's 7,700. He's gone 68, 66, -10, 2 eagles, 10 birdies, 4 bogeys. I did struggle a little bit with this one. I was, you know, I plugged it in early and then I really started to second guess it. Probably, I think there's going to be a little bit of ownership there. And his form, typically I really like guys coming into the week with like very good form, and then, you know, you continue to hit them on showdowns throughout the week. But I wasn't on Munoz week long, and I think that I don't care whether I regret it or not, but I think that the narrative coming in with him has played out how people expected it. You look at what he's done so far this week, it's been, you know, basically fairly consistent gaining across the board. He's only, you know, if you look at all his numbers, he's only lost in one category on one day, and it was like -0.0 something off the tee on his first day. So he's been very consistent on everything. But to me, you know, he's from, or he went to school at the University of North Texas, which is in another suburb of Dallas, about 20K 20 miles, 14 miles, 14 miles. Yeah. It's just to the west of McKinney where the course is here. But you look at his average finish his last 3 Texas tournaments is 15.6. So he's got 2 top 10s and a 28th in his last 3 starts in Texas tournaments. So I think he does play well here. But then the thing about Munoz, he's a classic showdown play to me. He makes birdies. Like, he is a very streaky player, and this is potentially why I like him more as a showdown play than as a tournament long, because he does have the ability to go out there and put up a stinker, but he has the ability to go up there and put up a really good outlier single round. So you look at his last 2 years, he's top 40 in birdie average in each of them. It was actually better in 2020. His play so far in 2021 season hasn't been as good, but he's not a top 40 player. So for him to be top 40 in birdie average, he's doing a better job making birdies than his overall score. You know, he's making a lot of bogeys along the way too. So if he has one of those rounds with a lot of bogeys without the bogeys, then you're going to be looking at a pretty nice, showdown GPP round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I didn't have him tournament long. I actually played him today in Showdown. He's about 7,200. Plugged him into my one lineup, and he did enough for me. Like, he
did his job.
Yeah, he did his job. Hoagie did not do his job. But yeah, I think $500 price bump. He's playing well. Streaky, volatile, birdie machine. Yeah, 7,700. I think that's good for Munoz.
Yep.
Why not, eh?
Why not?
Thank you, everybody, for listening. That's our round 3 DFS Showdown targets. Please hit that thumbs up. It really does mean a lot when you guys support us like that. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. We have a big week coming up with the PGA Championship. A lot of content coming out, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Good luck on Saturday. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.